Which pressure washer should you start your business with? In this video, I'm going to be walking you through every option from the cheapest consumer grade equipment to the Mac Daddy of pressure washers and talk through the benefits and drawbacks of each, as well as my personal recommendation depending upon how much money you're looking to spend and where you're at with your current business. Now, before we jump into this, my buddy Mike's going to be doing a free web class tomorrow night on how he scaled his business past $750,000 a year. And on it, he's going to be giving away some trainings that we've never released anywhere else. So if you'd like to reserve your seat, click the first link in the comment section and the description and sign up while there's still spots available. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. All right, guys, so we're going to start at the Home Depot website, and I do this for a particular reason. I recommend that everybody who is looking to start a business start with a place like Home Depot, start with a place like Lowe's, unless you have a lot more money to get started with the business, in which case we're going to talk about that towards the end of the video. I really want to make this a gradual increase in money depending upon where you're at, depending upon what services you're offering. And we're going to go through all the different pressure washers to kind of show that progression from a beginner to somebody who's essentially a pro. So I start with Home Depot because the most beautiful thing about Home Depot is I purchase the pressure washer. If something breaks, I can typically return it within its warranty policy. If I decide the business isn't for me, I bring it back. Whatever the case may be, low overhead allows for good profits. Now, in the beginning of your business, you're also going to have to be working harder because this equipment isn't optimal for running a legitimate business in some cases. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So the first option that we have here is a $99 Ryobi 1800 PSI 1.2 gallon per minute cold water corded electric pressure washer. When it comes to pressure washing driveways, houses, things of that nature, I don't recommend using a corded pressure washer for various reasons. First and foremost, you have to plug it into a wall. Electricity and water don't really mix. So I wouldn't recommend any pressure washers that are electric for pressure washing houses, concrete, anything of that nature. Now, what you can use this for, however, is probably be great for can cleaning, probably good for mobile detailing as well. I'm going to show you guys here in just a second my brother's setup, but beautiful thing about electric is you can drive it around in a car. You don't necessarily have to have a truck or anything because there's no gas in it. So you're not having to smell gas everywhere you go. The next one that we're going to look at is this 2900 PSI 2.5 gallon per minute cold water gas pressure washer. This is not the exact thing that I started with because what I started with was a Honda engine Simpson, but this will do the trick, right? 2900 PSI, 2.5 gallons per minute. Good enough to wash concrete, good enough to wash houses, not optimal by any means whatsoever. You're going to be washing very slow, but it will get the job done. It's a good consumer unit. I have noticed I bought a Ryobi probably like 2 years ago just to run some tests and make some videos with, some video content, and it broke really quick. So I would recommend not going with Ryobi, just my personal preference. With regards to any of these surface cleaners that you're going to see at Home Depot, Lowe's, they're very cheaply made. They might last you a couple driveways, but just know that with regards to a surface cleaner, I'd probably spend more money and get a better quality one than more of a consumer grade one. And you guys can find those on like Cody's website. We could probably take a look at that. I think he's got some Whirlaways on there. But just know I probably wouldn't waste my money on consumer grade surface cleaners. I'd rather spend a little bit more money, get a little bit more quality and a little bit more longevity. Now, this is specifically the pressure washer that my brother has for his can cleaning and his mobile detailing. It's perfect for him. 2000 PSI, 1.2 gallon per minute, and it's an electric pressure washer. He plugs in, washes the cars, washes the cans, and everything's great. With regards to can cleaning and mobile detailing, you don't want anything with a ton of pressure. You don't want anything with a ton of flow on it because then you'll blow the trash can away or you might damage the paint on the car. So in those cases, I would recommend going with something cheap like this. And if you're somebody who's not starting off with a whole bunch of money, you can offer these services. You can offer lower ticket services like the can cleaning, like, mobile detailing. There's a lot of other, pieces that kind of go into mobile detailing, but you can always offer can cleaning, and having an electric washer is going to work great for that. The next one, if we're moving up, is going to be this 3600 PSI 2.5 gallon per minute pressure washer here. This is a little bit of a step up from this Ryobi. As you guys can see, a little bit of a step up in price as well. But I think DeWalt, my personal opinion, is built a little bit better than Ryobi is. It's going to last a little bit longer. But like I said, the reason why we're buying them from Home Depot is we can always probably get a warranty on that, bring it back if it breaks, and they'll allow you to go and get another one off the shelf. If you try to buy this from Amazon, that's not typically the case. It's a lot harder to do warranties through Amazon. That's why I'd rather go into a physical store. I'll keep my receipt. I know where the store is. And if I need one, I'll go and replace it. I actually had an instance where I broke a pressure washer. It was still under warranty. I went and brought it back. They replaced it same day with one right off of the shelf. So it was a great instance. That was some years ago, but I'm sure they'll probably uphold the same return policy. Now, if you guys want to max out with regards to the pressure washer that you can get from a Home Depot, this is going to be pretty much the top shelf right here. This is going to be the highest you can go without having to get a water tank, and we're going to look at some pressure washers that are even more expensive than this and more capable than this as well. However, this was the second washer that I got in terms of my business. The first one was my dad had it in the garage, very similar to one like this, very consumer grade, worked, got me, you know, my first couple jobs done. And then I upgraded after that because I needed something a little bit more reliable and a little bit more capable of cleaning concrete driveways. I will say this is going to clean concrete driveways better because there's a 4 gallon per minute flow rate. And if you guys didn't know, spigots are rated at 4 gallons per minute. You cannot go over that. And that's why this is the highest end that you can go without having to get a water tank. That's why Lowe's sells it. So I'd highly recommend, if you're somebody who's serious about starting and you have a decent budget, to go with something like this, because like I said, it's going to make surface cleaning a lot easier and a lot faster. You're going to be able to use a 20-inch whirl away, which is a more professional surface cleaner. It's going to be more reliable for you, and it's just going to be able to get jobs done quicker. Now, one of the worst parts about having a machine like this is if you don't have a trailer set up, you will be hauling it around the house. You have to be hauling the hoses, moving the hoses, and that was pretty much the bane of my existence for the time I did pressure washing by myself before I teamed up with some other companies. However, I made plenty of money early on, and it kept me from working a 9-to-5 job, and it allowed me to work for myself. So highly recommend you guys check this one out if you have a little bit more money. Now let's go ahead and jump into, once you kind of get past this consumer grade Home Depot, if you're looking to spend a little bit more money, if you want to be more on the professional side of a legitimate wash company, then you're going to want to go to southeastsoftwash.com. I'll leave a link for it in the comment section and description. They got the big boys with regards to their pressure washer. So this right here is a 5.5 gallon a minute Kraken pressure washer right here. I mean, talk about the capability. You'd be going from a 4 to a setup that's probably in the back of a rig or in the back of a trailer, and you'd have a water tank for this because, as I mentioned, the spigot is only able to disperse about 4 gallons per minute. This would be excellent for you. I've seen guys run 5.5 gallon a minute units making 100K, 200K a year. Now, I recently did an interview with my buddy Dallas Roach. Dallas, his company has used this right here, this 4,400 PSI DeWalt. I'm pretty sure it's the exact pressure washer, and they've done over 120, 130,000 their first year. You guys can check out that interview. It's on my channel underneath the lives. But in that interview, he gives some great insights as to a bunch of the things he did to grow his business. However, I say this to say, don't let having a smaller pressure washer be an excuse for you. They certainly didn't, and they made a ton of money with that one. Now, since they had that first year kind of concept underneath their belt for what they know that they can do year over year, they're now looking to upgrade to a setup like this. And I think that's a great way to go. I think first year, take on a little less risk with regards to how much money you're going to spend on your equipment. Let that year be kind of like the solidifying of your business, your ability to get customers, your ability to sell jobs, your ability to provide a good quality service for those customers. And then in year 2, we look to go for something bigger. So that way we can enhance on what we've already maximized, if that makes sense. So if you guys want the Mac Daddy of all pressure washers, though, this is it. This is an 8 gallon per minute Honda engine pressure washer. Now, I say Mac Daddy. I've actually seen some people with, I believe, 12 gallon per minute. I've seen one set up with 2 12 gallon per minute machines on it. Not really necessary, in my personal opinion. It's so much flow coming out of the machine that it's probably going to pull more than what your water tank can hold. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for the water tank to kind of keep up, or the water flow to keep up with what you're cleaning. However, these are guys that are doing monster commercial jobs. So in that instance, it does make sense. This is kind of like when you've graduated, you've gotten to the point where you can put an 8 gallon per minute on the truck. A lot of guys I know have 2 8 gallon per minutes on their setup. That way, if one goes down, they can always swap to the other, or in some cases, they use both of them. So hope this video was informative for you. I would say foolproof plan. Year 1, start with something minimal overhead, something that can be returned, something that can be exchanged if it breaks. And then once you've kind of solidified that business model in your head, you're able to make money. You're able to, return that investment and make more money than what you invested in your equipment. Year 2, we're going to maximize, and we're going to go for one of these bigger pieces of equipment. Also, remember that with regards to service cleaner, it's always better to spend a little bit more money. Don't go consumer grade, because it's going to break on you a lot. It's going to be a real pain in the rear. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below equipment, and I'll hashtag your real one. My name is Justin. Forever self-employed. Until next time, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.